about all of that. Brian, South Carolina, you're on the Wilkow Majority. Hello.
Hey, how you doing? Thanks for taking my call.
Yes, sir.
I was listening to your most recent conversation about what I perceive to be a very extreme perspective, because you're absolutely correct that in certain situations there will be people covered under this plan that take advantage of the fact that that are promiscuous and do the most ridiculous things out there that you discussed. But that is an extreme perspective, and I don't believe that you are taking into consideration the vast majority of cases, which is going to be basic prenatal care. And
that's not. Hold on, prenatal care and contraception are two completely different things.
Oh, well, okay. Well, contraception and let's just say women's health care.
No, let's not do that, because that's the nonsense. We've been told that birth control and contraception are now part of women's health care. How so?
You're going to tell me that contraception is not part of
what is the need? What is the origin of the need to have sex?
It's just I think it's just goes all the way back to when we're created. Okay, that's just something that's going to happen.
So what I'm getting at is the biological origin of sex is for procreation. Now we, as the most advanced animals in the animal kingdom, have figured out we can do it for recreation.
Oh, see, what are you promoting abstinence and?
No, well, hold on. There's no physical. You can't say to me that if we don't have recreational sex, we are going to suffer a litany of health issues. You're doing it because you're doing it because you want to and because it feels good. And now we're saying the government
recreational sex.
So what? You're not entitled. You're not entitled to the things that go along with that, sir.
So help me understand this. So you're saying that because it is considered to be inappropriate in your eyes.
No, recreational.
Okay, recreational. Okay, so
like when you have a drink on a Friday night after work, that's recreational. You're not offsetting some malady. You are recreational. You're engaging in recreational medication.
Okay, well, if you drink too much after work, you're probably going to have liver disease. Now, that was a recreational activity that led to liver disease.
Which nobody owes you to offset that.
What's that?
Nobody owes you anything for that. If you did it to yourself, if you drink yourself into liver disease, how do I owe you anything for that? You did it.
I'm not saying that you do, but I'm just saying that's one of these things that's going to be covered under a program like Medicare. So
which it shouldn't be.
Are you going to walk down the path of saying, okay, to the tune of individual responsibility, we should take people at birth and give them a report card based on size, weight, health, lifestyle activity?
No, that would be anti-liberty, sir. The idea that somebody else, that person B is responsible for the behavior of person A is an affront to the liberty of person B. I don't owe your girlfriend a birth control pill. If you're going to wait, no, Brian, I'm not done. If I can't regulate your sexual behavior, if you're going to say to me that what you do in the privacy of your bedroom is your private life, how then do I become responsible for it?
I'm not suggesting that what I do in my private bedroom is your responsibility.
If I have to pay a tax to a government that then redistributes my money to buy somebody else birth control pills that I don't use and I'm not currently sleeping with, then it is my responsibility.
Okay, well, then in the same respect, okay, and as it relates to the overall health and well-being of our society.
That's not the government's responsibility, sir.
Diseases and controlling diseases and things of that nature, there are certain protective measures that can be put in place that, for instance, let's just talk about the spread of...
No, let's not talk about these things because the federal government doesn't have this authority, sir.
Well, okay.
Don't laugh at me. If you're going to... All right, Brian, this is where I throw down the gauntlet. If you're going to laugh at me when I say that, I want you to tell me where in the Constitution the government's empowered here.
Okay.
No. Right now, tell me.
Where?
No laughing. No exaggerated examples from other administrations. You tell me where in the United States Constitution the federal government is empowered here.
I don't know that I can.
You're right. You can't.
Okay, but that's not the point.
It is the point. It's absolutely the point.
Are you going to tell me that the precise principles that were outlined in that and reflected in our current modern society would not change 200 years ago had the founders seen where we are today or whatever?
That's what the amendment process is for.
Okay, well, then maybe you have an amendment, okay?
But they didn't do that. Under Article 2, the President of the United States has no authority to compel anyone or any entity or any business, for that matter, to provide this, that, or the other thing. It doesn't exist. And, sir, just so you understand where I'm coming from, the day that comes where a president says, you know what, based on precedent of the government being involved in the sexual behaviors of our citizenry, I've decided to ban sodomy through executive order. Is that something you're willing to exist in?
No. I mean,
well, why not, sir? You've just accepted unbridled federal power.
Okay.
You mean you only like it when it works to your favor?
Did we go to war through in the most recent conflicts through the typical channels?
No, you're right. President Obama went into Libya and Uganda without congressional authority. You're onto something there, buddy.
So, I mean, why? Here's a bigger question.
You mean Bush going to Iraq and Afghanistan? Yeah, he got congressional authority for that. Obama didn't.
Okay, so here's the greater question.
No, there is no greater question. The question is the thought here is, where does the government get the authority? You really need to read your Constitution, sir. You called up here and you laughed at me. You kind of thought to yourself, this guy's extreme. He's one of these dumb talk radio guys.
No, because you made an extreme comparison.
No, I said I was getting into the wild spectrum of recreational sexual behaviors. The government is entitled to neither regulate nor provide for any of them.
Right, but you also made the assumption that the president was, okay with all the sorts of individual liberties that come with that. Okay, but
right. That's including but not limited to.
Okay, and then you made a reference to how can they control what I eat or something to that effect.
Well, what I was getting at, sir, is we have seen the courts strike down sodomy laws, and we've seen the courts assert that the federal government can tell us we have to eat our requisite amount of veggies. So if the government can't regulate what you stick in your rear end, how can it regulate what you stick in your mouth?
Well,
why do you keep laughing as if there's a certain tinge of cartoonish nature to my language? The government is beginning to regulate what we eat and telling us what we can and cannot eat. Meanwhile, all of the deviant sexual behaviors are considered off limits.
The president, you're absolutely talking about apples and oranges.
No, I'm not, sir. If the government is going to start regulating what our kids eat, what we eat, what the content of this is going to be and the content of that can be, why couldn't the government then ban sodomy?
I think the better way to phrase it is.
I don't need a better way to phrase it. I phrased it perfectly.
No, it is, because how you position things go a long way.
Well, maybe to you.
The government is trying to minimize the amount of carcinogens or crappy stuff that.
Where does it get the authority to do that?
Here's where it gets the authority to do it. You do it when it's the right thing to do.
Oh, so the government. Okay, I got you. The government doesn't have to apply the Constitution when you think it's the right thing to do. But if I take over government and I think the right thing to do is to stop people from engaging in sodomy because that spreads STDs, you would tell me that I'm threatening civil liberties.
So you're saying that there are absolutely no regulations that should be put in place at all?
Not at the federal level. There's no power of the federal government to do that. None. Zero. Zip. Zilch. Again, your problem is you've never read the Constitution and you called this program and you laughed at me, and that's your problem.
Are you saying it should be done at the state level?
Yes.
So you're going to have vast discrepancies from, like Rick Santorum was saying, from education to health care.
Yes, yes, that's what our country provides. Can I read to you? No. So, Brian, I know, Brian, I know you're smarter than me, and you're asking rhetorical questions. I'm gonna end this with this. Amendment 10 to the United States Constitution, a component of the Bill of Rights. The powers not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, nor prohibited by it to the states, are reserved to the states respectively or to the people. End of story. Thank you very much for the call.